What's going on, everybody? Z-Man here. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. So if you guys weren't here in the last episode, we started the Great Eastern Road. Now that's still kind of a name of work in progress here, but for the time being, that's what we're keeping it as. We also worked on the lumber yard that was way down over here. So if you guys want to see how that whole process turned out, make sure to watch the previous episode. But before we go ahead and really get started with today's episode, if you happen to be enjoying yourself at any point in time, make sure to hit that like button. Check out the links below for all of my social medias. Consider joining the Soulless community Discord. And if you want to see more content just like this, as we add more structures, lore, and other fun stuff to this world, you should totally hit that subscribe button. And I also want to say a huge shout out and thank you to G-Portal for sponsoring this server. If you want to get a server for you and your friends to play Minecraft on, use the link in the description below to get 10% off your first purchase. And yeah, with that being said, thank you G-Portal. You're awesome for sponsoring this. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. How's everybody doing today? So I went ahead and I did do a little bit of preparation today. We got some more resources and all that fun stuff so that we could start filling in this path a little bit better. Now, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take us to fill in this section and whether we really need to continue it right now, because I'm also kind of thinking we might start to work a little bit on the cliff side here too, because if you guys can't tell, it's just hanging here. It doesn't look very nice. So we might want to change that up a little bit. So we will more than likely do a little bit of work with the terraforming and making sure that this all looks good today. Potentially, we'll see how far we end up actually getting with it. Eli, welcome in. How you doing? How is your Tuesday so far? So yeah, terraforming, more road work as we throw in some more blocks into the path and make it look nice and pretty here. So yeah, without further ado, let's really get into today's build. So I'm just going to grab up pretty much a stack of everything else except for coarse dirt. I might as well just grab that entire thing. And gravel. I may need to do some gravel gathering at some point just to kind of, you know, make this look a little bit better. Or so that I have more resources, I should say. Good, you're doing good. I'm glad to hear that, Eli. I don't believe I've seen you in the chat before, so welcome to the Soulless World. So we're going to be starting down here by where the eventual port is going to be. I still have yet to even really plan this out. So, yeah, we have this, and I need to start bringing this, have this transition into the main path up this way. So, yeah, that's what we're really going to be primarily focused on. I know this primarily has a lot of spruce planks and mossy cobble in it, so we're going to have to figure out a way to like really make this blend properly. So I'm thinking we might even try to start from where the spruce is. I think that is where we're going to start. How are you? I'm doing pretty all right. Thank you for asking. So I started my summer class today for college, and it is everything I dreaded it would be. I don't know how I'm gonna do in it, in all honesty. Business analytics is my summer course this year, and it's basically just my stats class all over again, except a little more applicable to business, as it says in the class name, Business Analytics. So I am very skeptical about it, because even though I literally just finished my stats class not even a week ago, I took a baseline quiz essentially today, and even with my notes, abysmal. It's like I never learned a damn thing from the class, which it sucks to say because I did try my best in the class, but ultimately in the end it did not pan out the way that I wanted it to. I ended up passing with a C. I should probably mention that. I did end up passing stats with a C. But I didn't want to take another stats class or anything involving stats for quite some time because the trauma is real. Word of advice, make sure that you talk with your professors and fellow students whenever you're figuring out what classes you need to take, because otherwise you end up taking a class with a professor that only knows what they're doing about like half the time, and it was a rough semester overall. I'm glad to be done with it, but now that I'm basically doing it all over again, I am struggling. Like already off the bat, I feel like this is going to be another class that I might end up struggling with, and it sucks to say that because I really genuinely thought this wouldn't be anything like what I just went through, but it is. So pray for me. I'm gonna need all the good vibes and prayers sent my way to get through this next semester. That's all I'm gonna say. You will make it. I'm sure I will. I'm probably just overthinking it, but we'll see. I mean, I feel like I should try to lock in a little bit more with this class this time around. I mean, not saying that I didn't try with my previous class, but it just really did not go well. And I thought I did decent enough. I did decent enough. No, I did do decent enough to pass, but it's just, it was such a headache. It was super stressful and it sucked. That's all I have to really say. So I'm going to try to keep a positive attitude about the class. Hopefully this professor will actually teach me stuff this time around. Now, granted, like I said, it's an online course. So how much teaching will actually be done? Probably minimal, because if anybody has ever taken an online class before, do you really do any learning? Truly, can you sit there and say, yes, I have learned something from this online class? Because I can confidently say I've barely learned stuff, minimally learned stuff from my online classes. So, yeah. But enough rambling and moaning and bitching about my gripes with the world right now. Let's talk some world lore. Potentially. So, Roth and I were, well, I guess we're also going to talk some build stuff too, but Roth and I are pretty much in agreement on the fact that for the Great Eastern Road, we want to have multiple like variations to the road depending on the region that it's passing through. So if it's going to have, like if it's passing by a mountain like we currently have it here, we'll probably include some like bigger rocks and stuff like that, like along the edges, maybe even include some pebbles here and there using buttons. But I think that's pretty much the extent of what we talked about. Trying to think of what else have we discussed as of late. I can't remember that much. My brain's kind of mush. Hey, that kind of rhymed. Yeah, so different variations to the road as we, you know, progress and build and all that fun stuff. I think this, when it comes to Duskhearth, I guess we're going to hop back to Duskhearth and talk about some of the potential plans I have kind of rumbling in my head right now. for that area is the commercial district really needs to be thought out and planned. I may need to do a little bit of terraforming around here too. I need to start doing some build designs for that. That'll probably be something that we'll get into in like a week or two. So within the next couple weeks, we'll finally have plans for Duskhearth, and we'll just be kind of gung-ho getting that finished up. And in the process of like whenever I do happen to have some free time, I'm going to continue to work on this whole area here. I need to fill in more trees and all that stuff for the lumber mill in the surrounding areas. I need to yeah, fill in trees and commercial district. That's more so what I gotta do for Duskhearth right now. And I also have another cliff that I need to fill in as well. This little cliff side here will need to be adjusted as well. That'll be interesting enough to do because I feel like building cliffs is already close enough to working on a mountain, and I feel like I'm so burnt out from working on this. I've had literally zero motivation to touch the mountain ever since we built it. It kind of sucks, I won't lie, because it needs work. Even if it's just baby steps like terraforming around the mountain, like this area here, like all this grass and dirt that you could see here is probably gonna get carved out or gonna get dug up, and then I'm gonna actually do some work with Axiom to get some proper mountains built, because don't get me wrong, it was super rewarding and it feels so great to have this mountain built, but it's not as detailed as I would have liked. So going into a bit more like depth, more peaks and other stuff like that, I probably could go back over like the top of the mountain here, because there's tons of space up here to where I could build peaks and stuff like that. But for now, I just don't want to touch a mountain. I don't want to touch a mountain, and probably won't want to for a long while, if I'm going to be brutally honest. All right, so pretty much the thought process when it comes to making this roadway is we want to start with putting in the stone variants. So the mossy stone, the cobblestone, they're all going to go in first, and then whatever's left, removing all of the path blocks. We may end up removing some of these path blocks here because we want to kind of peter off or have this blend a little bit. So like probably right around here is where we should probably start to filter in more gravel to the path, because I don't want many path blocks in this section of the road, if at all. So nope, that's the wrong block. So we can go ahead and fill that in. Wrong button. I think for right now, this is going to be a good blend. Maybe here and there I can, remove some blocks or whatever. But we primarily want the road to be coarse dirt, gravel, cobblestone, and mossy cobblestone. That's pretty much the palette for the road, and that's what we need to start blending into here. So, yeah, we could probably get rid of that path. We'll put a path block there. Have a couple coarse dirt. I think that's where this is, I think this is a solid blend because the gravel doesn't go super far. I mean, it does kind of go relatively far down, but we also blend in the planks pretty all right. Like the planks start right here. I may even go as far as to throw in just a few more, make it really sparing, like up to this point. So like the first hint of that is like right here. I think that'll work. Okay, so it's sleepy time. Sorry if I seem a little bit tired or anything like that. I had to do a lot of walking around at work today. It's not fun. Ugh, exercise, am I right? Who likes to exercise around here? Should I? Probably. Yeah, I probably should exercise a little more often than I currently do. But it's fine. It's totally fine. Alright, so we'll put... Don't want that much cobblestone in the pathway here. So we can do that. And then start to incorporate the coarse dirt. Why would... What? Anybody else see that? I swear my ender chest popped into here. That did not look right in the slightest. What else can we talk about? Ooh, so when it comes to the future settlements, kingdoms, and stuff like that, probably I haven't really picked out a location just yet. I believe the picture might still be here. Aha, there's the picture. So this is the road. This is the template that we're currently rolling with for all of the eventual kingdoms. As I mentioned in the last episode, the green roads and blobs are where hamlets in smaller towns are going to be. Probably not as big as Duskhearth because this is more of a whatchamacallit. This is more of like a town. Villages and hamlets are going to be going in these spots. We may probably space out the... Oops, sorry. We may space out the actual towns a little bit more because this is, in all reality, the space that you're seeing here from like Carmelithor all the way to Rimeweald, there's really, it's like a few thousand blocks, like 3,000 to 3,500 blocks. It's really not that far. So I think if we want to try and branch out where we're going to be putting major towns in settlements, it may be a better idea for us to kind of make them a little more widespread than like the hamlets and stuff, where amenities and stuff like that come like there's one specific amenity that comes from a hamlet, while a town would have multiple, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And yeah, so that's kind of like the thought process slash idea currently running through my head as to how we're going to essentially make this world work. Okay. Regular dirt we could put away. Mossy, I need my gravel. Just want to be able to easily access my blocks. So, yeah. What the heck? Why is there a bat out here? Wasn't necessarily expecting that. All right. Honestly, when I first started working on this path, I was quite hesitant to just use such basic blocks like coarse dirt and gravel. I feel like there could be potentially some better blocks that could have been used. But when talking with Roth about this, he mentioned that just having simplistic blocks is never a bad thing. And after working on this a little bit more, I agree with him. Like, I think once we start working on a little more foliage around the path, because in all reality, the Melithor forest here is only gonna go up to roughly around where I'm standing. And then whatever we clear out from here, some extra terraforming that I need to do, like, we'll fill in this space. But like, this forest isn't that large, and it's meant to be rather small. So I mean, in all reality, this is a decent sized forest. Like, from here to here is like a decent sized forest biome. Like this, for example, we pretty much have a forest, or this is more of like a flower forest, but regardless, this is still like, this forest biome here could more than likely fit in here. So I think where I've kind of broke off, or where I've kind of established the baseline for where the forest will end or start, however you want to look at it, this will all be mostly covered up. We won't really see that much of it. Like, how natural forests occur is like, there'll be sparse trees, but lots of grass, overgrown stuff, and then it gets more dense as we go in. So there may not be as many trees like along this edge here, but the further we go in, like where it is currently, that's like, we want to have that dense, dark, mysterious feeling. So yeah, that's my whole spiel about how I want the Melithor forest forest. Ooh. Yes, forest to look and feel as we build up this path. And honestly, it may not even be the worst idea to work on that a tiny bit too. Just get some saplings. I might have saplings. Oh God, do I have saplings? I mean, worst case scenario, we can always go to the Pale Forest that is somewhere. I want to say it's more north, but it's not rendered on my map. Like, the Pale Forest is like this way. We haven't been over this way in quite some time. And I think there actually might even be a portal in the Nether to get to that. So we'll see. The primary goal is to kind of make this section of the path look appealing today. That be the goal. All right, well, that's already looking so much better. If we just kind of, I'm going to start from up here, work our way down. Like, this is where we start to kind of run into the path blocks and the, like, where the port's going to be. We're going to make sure that we utilize some of the path blocks. It probably won't be that many along the edges here. Maybe we incorporate a little bit of mud at some point, but then we come up this way, path blocks start to disperse a little bit along with the spruce planks. And get up to this point, there's a lot. We're starting to get some gravel mixed into here too. Yeah, then it does kind of feel like it hard cuts off right here. Maybe I'll try to like replace a block or two with a path block down here, make it not feel as abrupt. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of overthinking it a little bit. But then it all gets up to here. And then this whole pathway here, we still got to work on. So that's more than likely where we're going to head next. I do need my my mud brick slabs, because I'm going to put these in along the edges so that we can get up and down a lot easier. I really wish there was packed mud slabs, not just mud brick slabs. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating how Minecraft can't think of like having just packed mud block set would be so nice for natural builds like roads and stuff like that. But overall, I can't complain too much. This is a half decent build in of itself, or a half decent road currently. It's not really a build. We haven't really built much. But speaking of building, I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do with this side here. And honestly, I think it might not be a bad idea to potentially include some trees, like very sparse amount of trees along the coastal side of the cliff here, just to kind of give it a little bit extra life, if that makes sense. Because I know, like, over here, I didn't necessarily do the greatest job of including more roots. Like, we have roots coming down through here for the most part. I want to include stuff like this along that cliff there. And honestly, that cliff might look very similar to what we currently have here. Potentially. I also still need to, you know, finish it coming around all the way to this side. We may even just make this all deep slate, like have it kind of, I don't know how I'm gonna blend this yet, because like I built this before this, and now that I'm thinking about it, like the block palette just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think hard about that part. But regardless, you guys get what I'm saying. Is trees along this pathway. That's what we're going for. Or along the cliffside. Alright, so I'm gonna need fireworks, because I fly around way too freaking much. My elytra's actually kind of gotten a little bit of damage there. Whoops. But yeah, like all of this here should probably be dug out so that I could start putting in some like rocks, boulders, and stuff like that along here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to think about the next section of the path. I think, yeah, this section here and this section here is where we can start next. And that's... maybe we'll do... oh, no, not that. That block don't go there. Like, we're not going to have a lot of greenery in the middle of the path because we want it to look very walked along quite. That doesn't make sense. We want it to look very packed down and rugged, like it's been here for a very long time. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Sometimes words are hard. Can anybody else agree? Sometimes words are hard. We do want to include enough cobblestone, though, so that it's not just going to be a huge brown mess of coarse dirt and stuff like that. We want to make sure that we have enough gray kind of mixed in here too, and not like too much gravel either. We want to make sure that there's enough block variety. We don't want to make it look too I guess like lopsided even with the color balance. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of saying words at this point, trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Nope. Don't know why I don't just use my shovel, huh? Shovel is a lot easier for digging stuff out, am I right? And you know, we probably could even attempt to include a tiny bit of tuff, especially along this mountainside here, just to get a little bit more variety out of the path. Potentially. Just some thoughts. Alright, so now we're gonna put in the coarse dirt. And then gravel. And how does that look? Not bad. We'll keep it the way it is as I remove a block and change it out. Yeah, this process is probably going to be quite repetitive and monotonous, but well, honestly, I didn't really have time to plan anything else out for today, so it's kind of this is what you're getting with tonight's stream. I'm hoping that I'll have more time either tomorrow night or Thursday night, since I'll be dog sitting until Friday night. I feel like I'll have enough time to potentially get some build stuff done, plan out accordingly what I want for Duskhearth, and then maybe we'll have something for the next couple episodes. I don't really know. Alright, let's start removing these path blocks, placing them with gravel. If there's too much gravel, we can always throw in some blocks here and there. That's a little bit better. All right, now this section. How will this part look? All right, I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, try not to overthink it too much. Just kind of replace some blocks here and there and make it look halfway decent. And call it good. Okay, so now that that section is done, it's pretty much nighttime, so yeah, we're just gonna sit here and wait for the nighttime, sleepy time. I want to go to bed. Let me go to bed, please. Huh? I can hear. Is there stuff spawning under there? There might be stuff spawning underneath the path. I might have to go back through and find that stuff and replace it. Oh, by the way, I need to make a group for when Roth joins. Yeah. He should be getting on here around like 8:30. If he starts earlier, even better. But yeah. All right, next stretch of the road. Maybe with it being so close to the mountainside here, like this foothill almost, maybe we'll incorporate a little bit more mossy cobble and cobblestone in general. I feel like that would make sense. Yeah. Oh, there's a bed over here. Kind of forgot I put this bed over here, huh? Yeah, I think more cobble around this area might make a lot of sense. So in all reality, like the mountain is probably only gonna go up to this point here. So having these foothills would make a lot of sense. And then what we have up this way, where we kind of cut off the road from our current progress, which, by the way, I'm gonna put these down really quick. Yeah, so like right here is probably where the mountain will end. And then this, well, we can probably reduce the size of this hill here. Obviously, we got to fill this in a bit more. I do have a bunch of grass and dirt from when I was excavating out the area in which Carmelithor is in. So that won't be a problem. Oh, I'm out of mossy cobble. That's not good. We're only going to use like a stack at a time, just because this will help me with preventing myself from going too overboard with the amount of blocks that I use. But yeah, we're definitely going to include a lot more cobble in this area. Maybe probably not as much mossy on this side. I don't know. Hey, go away, malware bites. Honestly, this path here is kind of like really narrow, which, I mean, it makes sense for it to narrow at certain parts. I don't want it to be super narrow either. Maybe in this area it makes sense. I don't really know. All right, guys, I'm going to be right back for just a moment. Okay, guys, I apologize. That took me a little bit longer than I expected. Oh, it's dark. Monsters, they're gonna come get me if I don't sleep. How's everybody doing? And they're having a good time still. I hope so. I know it's not the most exciting stuff that we're working on here, but it's important. It's important that we're getting this done because it just is, okay? Trust me. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Okay, so now that we are here, kind of just sprinkle in more cobble than normal. That could work, actually. We might even try to include some tough in here, I think. I think including some tough in gravel might help make this look a whole lot better. At least I think it will. Probably not that much. Not that frequent. Okay. Yeah, I think probably once we get to... It's probably going to go out a little bit more. Probably around this layer here as well, we'll start to lessen the amount of cobble and tough and other stuff. Kind of rhymed a little bit there. What can I say? I'm a poet. I don't know. Oh, man. Try not to get into like hyper-focused build mode because it really ain't that serious. But, yeah. How's chat doing? You guys are quiet tonight. What's up? How's it hanging? Did you have a good day at work? College is over, so if you're just a college student enjoying the summer, I hope you're enjoying it so far. Gonna need more cobble. Hold on. Aha, here we go. Grab a few more stacks of that. Actually, you know what? Do I have... I do. I do have some tough already. Place that down. Grab a couple stacks of that. As for this dirt... I already have a full shulker here. I don't want to be constantly flying back and forth. So I'm just going to keep that on me. I don't know why I have oak logs. It might have been because there was a tree over here, now that I think about it, but I don't need those oak logs right now. Honestly, the more that I walk along the road and just kind of like admire it more, for lack of a better term, it does look quite nice. And I'm starting to like it more and more. Trying to add more shape and variation to this, because I don't want to be using too much tuff, but at the same time, we don't want to be using a ton of gravel either. Yeah. Yeah, trying to get the right variation of blocks is gonna be tricky. But then again, it doesn't have to be perfect the first time around. Just has to be good enough. And then we can always come back over and redo whatever we need to redo. All right, I think that's good. What I think we'll do now is grab some of this tuff, start to sprinkle it in. Still want to have a decent. Actually, before we go ahead and start adding in tuff, I want to start. I need to go get some more coarse dirt. Like blending out the amount of dirt that there is. Nope, not that shulker, not that one, not that one. Aha. Probably too much for what we need right now, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I think doing that will be good, and then even start introducing a tiny bit of the tuff here and there. You know, I wanted to remove those so that I could put in that. Don't want it to. Don't want there to be too much gravel. See, this is the conundrum that I mentioned already. Not wanting to have too much gravel on the path. But also having enough block. Maybe now I'm starting to get a little bit in over my head. A tiny bit. No! Piece of flint. Don't need it. maybe include just a little bit more cobblestone too. If we don't want to have too much gravel. I feel like the cobble is a good medium. So then like right around here is where we can start to include a lot more of the gravel and more tough as well. But also, it's sleepy time. I could just work through the night, but monsters are definitely going to spawn around me while I'm building. And I'd rather not be interrupted, if at all possible. And anywhere that there might be some open gaps, definitely gonna have to fill in. Gosh darn phone, leave me alone. We do not need any more dirt. So it's actually, you know what? We're just going to remove all of the path blocks that we placed down. Just kind of wing it. No, you don't drop down there. So what I can do is I can place down the gravel, and then whatever would help make this, like, break this up, we can just start replacing blocks with tough. So yeah, I think my problem is that I just overthink too much. Like, it ain't that serious. Any gaps we find, we can fill in. Yeah. Like, there's a whole ass cave here. I'm creeper. For a split second, I thought it broke through the ground. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me right now? But it did not. Thank goodness. Yeah, I think like through here. Just fill this in. Like, I know I could probably grab that coal and all, but I already have a crap ton of coal. Don't think I need any more. Now we can just go ahead and fill this in. Out of gravel. We can also store some of this dirt too. I need gravel. Are you being for real right now? Excuse me, guys. I really should start using my spear. That could be kind of fun. Just do flybys with the spear. And elytra. Get some elytra practice with the spear. That could be fun. Yeah. Yeah, I think this looks good, actually. If we really wanted... Do I have... I think over in the loot deposit, over here, I have some stone. Which, by the way, this may be sacrilege for what I'm about to do. I will actually take these. Anything else that's like super important? No. All that important stuff, I'm just gonna let it despawn. I have so much crap already sitting in my storage systems. I don't think I truly need to have all that. And hoarders like Roth would be like, what are you doing? But yeah, what we could do is place down buttons kind of like scattered about along the path here. Just not like that. just to give this path a little bit more detail. Not have them be so close to each other either. Because I kind of forgot about the fact that I started using buttons as rocks and whatnot on the path here. They've been here for who knows how long. I just stopped using them all of a sudden. So if we now just kind of walk along this path, see how it looks. Yeah. Yeah, the buttons add a special depth to the path here. All right, can you be a sleepy time yet? There we go. Thank you. I'm gonna stretch. Man. Okay. And as we get closer to the mountain, the more we can increase the amount of rocks that are along the path, because like we want to make this feel like there's been lots of rocks that just kind of cascading off the foothills here. Now I'm already out of rocks. Rocks. I should have more stone sitting in one of these chests over here. I didn't realize how much I was actually going to end up needing. So let's run over here. There's another stack. Ooh, gravel. I'll take that. Dirt. You know, I'm going to say this now, then like in episode 2 or 2 from now, I'm just going to be like, what happened to all my stuff? And then I'm going to remember back on this point and be like, oh yeah, I was a dumbass. I was the dumbass that did that. I had mud somewhere. Yeah. Right there. That's good for now. Nope, that's not supposed to be there. Oh, I need to finish this part, huh? I think... What did we say? I think about right here is when we would start to kind of make this a normal path again. Because, like, this is, like, directly up against the mountain, so... Yeah. Coarse dirt, we can start to sprinkle that in here and there. Don't want to have too much in one area. And then around here is where we could start to taper off the tough as well. So, you know what? We're just going to do this. Remove all of the path blocks. Just to make my life a little bit easier. Up till about this point. I want to make sure that I'm tapering off enough. All right, maybe a little bit more. I think like right around here will be good. And if we feel like we need to adjust the block ratio, we can always change it. I didn't actually, now that I think about it, I didn't even try to like include any of the mossy cobble up here. I'm just like, what am I doing? Yeah, that's good. It's looking very nice. All right. I think we've got that all filled in now. So I want to see what this is starting to look like. So yeah, like around this area, maybe we can even try to like make it look like there's been a lot of landslides. Like rock landslides, rock slides. I guess rock slides are like the proper term to use there. Like this area is very common for it. So we want to like have this be very rough terrain. Maybe we can even have it so like this area here, like the rocks have just accumulated to this point. And that's why the mountain is so like low at this point even. Because if I'm thinking about the mountain range, which I honestly don't really want to, probably around here is where the lowest point is going to be. Ooh, there's Roth. Thumbnail time? I was so right. Okay, so yeah, like right here is like the lowest point. So maybe we can even take a chunk out of the mountain here just to kind of make it to have it look like there's been a part of it that's just kind of sunk into the sea. But this part of the path has been constantly upkept since it's so close to like some other locations. Because what I'm thinking when it comes to like the dwarves too, I think what I might end up doing is like some dwarven outposts. Now, potentially thinking of doing one over in here and here. At least these two. This mountain here may just be a natural mountain. Because these are so close together, I don't want to do too much. Or maybe we could even have it so like this is just one big outpost that's underground. Like a mining outpost, for example. And they kind of just like connect up. So in the event like there's a cave in or something that blocks one way out, they have another way of getting back out. That kind of thing. It's like have something like on this side of here, something over, I don't know, here or back over here somewhere. Probably back over here because I think what I wanted to do was build like a little hamlet in this area. Potentially. This cavern needs to be filled in. That hole will need to be filled in. I think whatever's over here. What is over there? Kind of curious now. Sounds like Roth's gonna have some rough weather tonight. I think it's supposed to... I thought it was already supposed to storm here, but... bright! Yeah, it's not supposed to rain for like another 30 minutes here. 30 to 40 minutes, but I mean... It is supposed to rain a decent bit tonight, so we'll see. Alright, sleepy time. I have time to review that I did. And actually, since we've basically filled this all in, we started it out. I feel like we're at a good spot here. I'm going to do a BRB to fill up my water bottle. And stretch my legs because I kind of need to do that. So, yeah. You should also do the same. Stretch your legs, grab a snack, hydrate yourselves, do whatever you need to do. We will be back in just a few. All right, everybody, I have returned. Let's get back to it. Okay, so at this point, now that we've gotten this part of the path done, I think it's time that we start doing a bit of terraforming, and maybe even, I think we'll actually save some tree building until we actually get terraforming done. That's not supposed to go in there. Gravel. We'll kind of throw in some miscellaneous stuff even, maybe. We'll see. Tough. Put stone in there too, why not? I have too much dirt. Planks I really don't need. Put stone buttons in there. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run over to where I already have my beacon set up at and move it over here. This is where we're actually gonna work. So boop. Bye bye beacon. Honestly, you know what? We can even just leave that base here, because what we can do with all that iron that I left behind. By the way, I ended up in some of my free time, I did put in a waterfall here. Yeah, I'm going to sleep really quick so you guys can get a better look at it. And I want your guys' honest thoughts and opinions of it. So what I ended up doing was putting this waterfall and kind of like directing it towards where we had this opening here for quite some time. I ended up throwing in a mixture of mud, gravel, and coarse dirt, kind of very basic blocks. Maybe we'll throw in some regular dirt as well, because this does look kind of rough, or even more mud. I'm not really sure, but I put in this waterfall and I even blocked it off here so that we could continue to fly in and out. But I might end up grabbing some deep slate and like converting this entire tunnel into something here. But what I need to do is go to the other side and head to the iron farm to check on it, because I haven't checked on it in a couple episodes, and I've been on here and there. Maybe the iron farm's been loaded, not entirely sure though. Oh, look at that, there's a beacon there. And I may even attempt to make a easier way to get down to here, but for the time being this works. How's this doing? Yeah, we got some iron. Guess it hasn't been loaded in nearly as much as I originally thought. There's a whole chest of iron gone. Double chest over here that's gone. Somebody's been taking my iron. It's not technically my iron, it's the community's. Get what I'm saying? We're gonna try to use up this much. 64, 64. I was so close to having just enough iron. That's actually quite hilarious. 64, 64, 36. And then another bit of iron there. Honestly, I might even try to repair my elytra a little bit. Or at least I probably should, but maybe I'll do that off camera. I need to start doing some more farmland too. I want to have this stretch out more. I need to also work on a farmhouse for Duskhearth. for like scattering about that area. Like farmhouse here, maybe over here, because we want this all to be crops of some kind. Yeah, I think what we'll do is... where am I going to put this? Could probably just put it right here for now as a temporary thingamadoohicker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Zman.
Roth.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. You know, just thunder setting off car alarms outside.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez. No, I thought it was supposed to kind of storm here, but apparently that weather advisory has gone away, so interestingly enough. Oh wait, all this gravel, I might need this gravel. That's sounds like a great way to start your stream, just saying.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good old thunderstorm though?
Suddenly I'm no longer here. It is because my internet and or power is out.
Or both. The game sounds too loud. I hope the game sounds aren't too loud, guys. Let me know.
Jordan White, yes. Hello.
Seems really... I think game sounds might even be louder than me at some points. Let's bring that down just a little bit. So Roth's working on more of his gatehouse / bridge today.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to get some more stuff though, real quick.
Let me guess, you're gonna need more diorite?
No. Not yet, at least. Off camera, I went and mined up some tuff from under the mountain.
Okay.
I have that, and I grabbed a whole shulker of andesite as well.
Damn. Okay.
But need to
you won't be stealing from me for much longer, guys.
Dark oak. What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, what? You know, I thought it was kind of... I thought about this earlier, and I don't know if I ever mentioned it to you before, but I was potentially thinking, like, you know how we talked about, like, how each settlement kind of has, like, its own amenities that would provide to their kingdoms and whatnot?
Yeah.
I was thinking it might not be the most efficient thing for, like, on-camera work, but, like, off-camera, if we were to build, like, respective farms at each of, like, the hamlets or villages that would produce said product.
Yeah.
Kind of also entices us to kind of, you know, if we need to load in an area or if we need like a specific resource, like, you know, when I eventually move the wool farm, because it genuinely makes my game lag. like putting that in like a specific town or specific village that would have.
Yeah. It's just like a shepherding
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
I like that.
You know, like I said, kind of gives us a bit of enticement to explore the world rather than just have everything confined to one area.
It'll probably make things less laggy as well.
That too.
If we spread things out a little bit.
Yeah, things aren't.
I also
loaded
think
constantly.
having some redundancy on farms, like depending on like how far out certain things are, but
Right.
because like I'm sure there will be multiple villages that have
The same thing.
shepherds and stuff. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not like it's an uncommon profession.
yeah.
So it would make sense to have more than one village that has a shepherd or has a wool output.
They provide this tiny village provides wool for the whole entire world.
Yes, exactly. You read my mind. Ow. Baby drowned. Came out of freaking nowhere, scared me a little bit. Oh yeah, I meant to look something up before I hop back into stream. Okay, that kind of answers my question. Because I was thinking to myself earlier, because like since I'm working on the road, like what am I gonna do with other settlements and whatnot? I wanted to look up as like, was it common for architecture to be vastly different throughout an entire kingdom, for example? I guess it is. Which oh no, I'm not an architect. I don't pay attention to this stuff. So, like, I was thinking, like, as for that one human settlement, like, in the Spruce.
Yeah.
Or the kingdom. I was kind of thinking of potentially doing more of, like, a Celtic vibe for that one. I feel like that biome would suit that theme quite well. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so.
Or at least make it work for the most part. Oh, I have so much gravel. While originally I was like struggling to find it. That's gonna be a problem. Here we go, starting another chest monster. Go. That'll be better. Might even. Oh, I do have to kind of repair my shovel now, huh? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, this was something that I meant to ask you last stream. Now that it just occurred to me, talking about like different settlements and whatnot. What are your thoughts on potentially having like another elven kingdom, like not your kingdoms per se, but like just having another elven faction almost in the world. What are your thoughts on that?
Very much depends.
Very much depends. Okay. So I guess I wanted to like know your thought process on why you wanted to only have one elven kingdom.
I just envisioned them more as kind of like one united people slash. There weren't a whole lot of them left alive still.
Okay. Because like my thought process for it too is that like maybe there is like a very like a drastically smaller population of elves like based somewhere else that didn't necessarily want to like follow your kingdom into the frozen wasteland, so they kind of like wanted to find a different area. And I mean, hey, we could even go as far as to say is like for like the wildlands. Is that what we're calling it? The wildlands or whatever?
The wildscape.
Wildscape. Yes, that. Like even like not much recorded history of this elven race that decided, hey, we're not going to go into the frozen wasteland. We're just going to continue to explore almost. And they ended up in the wildscape type thing.
Yeah. That... Okay. Full honesty, I was extremely close to just saying no other elven thing, but now you've got me thinking of ideas.
You're welcome.
We could decide if so like we couldn't use like the drow from D&D because that's a D&D thing, but like basically dark elves, and like we wouldn't even have to make them like physically that different type of thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we could make something different where it's like, we could either come up with a second event that kind of caused the schism in the elven community, or just say, like, maybe the almost complete annihilation slash exile of the elves. Potentially... Okay, hold on, let me get my thoughts straight here. I think the elves would have fought back, but I think at a certain point they would have, at least the leaders would have made the decision that we need to go, and potentially this other faction of elves did not want to run. They wanted to stay and fight. Or like they were like, I don't like this idea of we just go run and hide in a place that's practically or like extremely difficult to live in.
Right.
And that's like what caused kind of the schism. And I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Okay,
it's
that was kind of like my process of it.
You know, I definitely think something like that could work. Because, like, I definitely thought of, like, the concept of, you know, there's no inherently good or evil within every faction. So, like, I was even thinking of the concept of, like, also wildscape dwarves, too. That maybe like during the whole Age of Expansion, like basically like lost exploratory groups basically just kind of got lost in the wildlands and nobody ever came to help them, so they were just like out there fending for themselves and like just kind of lived,
yeah,
however, by whatever means, I guess. That's what I'm trying to get at. So like they felt like, I don't think scorn is the right word, but like a disdain maybe for their kin that never came to find them. So, oh, okay. It's me, baby. All right, probably gonna end up needing another. Arwen. What is it, baby? Huh? Where are you meowing? Meowing.
Whoops. Okay, I've been deafened for like I don't know how long. A little bit.
Only like a couple minutes.
A couple minutes. Okay. I don't know what I need to. What is that keybind? So I don't push it again.
Should probably double check your keybinds.
Keybinds, controls, keybinds. Voice chat.
Hey, stop on the chair.
Okay.
For attention right now. I get it.
We will.
Maybe you like opened up your map or whatever in it.
Yeah, and I because they're right next to each other, so yeah, I think I did. Okay. Let's.
Oops. Might end up needing the andesite actually.
I unbind this.
What are you trying to unbind?
Disable voice chat.
Is it in your... Probably in your keybinds somewhere.
It's in my keybinds, but like some are like not bound. And like if I hit reset, it makes it so they're not bound.
I think the default is N.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know how to make it so there's no keybind.
Oh. Great question.
Well, oh well, okay.
I just set it to something that I would have to intentionally go out of my way to press.
Fair. Alright, I was saying some stuff, but I don't remember what it was. It was... Yeah, I think it was, I can see the Elven Schism either being during the Chaos War or the Rakavan expansion. I'd have to think of something for the Chaos War.
Mm-hmm.
But currently for the Rakavan, like conquest and stuff, to kind of explain that idea of what causes it, and I'm kind of thinking of like maybe this other faction of elves are almost viewed as like heretics.
Okay.
Like potentially like, hey, yeah, we almost got wiped out and like just so much destruction to the elven people that maybe they kind of viewed it as the elven goddess no longer caring, or like whatever, something along that, like,
Yeah.
oh, how could
our
let
god
this happen to us?
Yeah.
And then it's like that, and then kind of paired with the, hey, going out into this freaking forever winter area sounds like a terrible time. Like, kind of like those two things are like the big selling points, and so like there's potentially like a little splinter faction that's like even smaller than this one.
Yeah. Like when I was thinking about like this other elven faction, I didn't want to make it like a super significant thing, but just like something else.
Yeah. Like potentially, if I also should figure out like how, like, the age range of how long elves should live.
Oh yeah.
Like,
not thousands of years.
yeah, not that long. Probably like, say like 300 tops.
Yeah, I feel like a couple centuries makes sense for elves.
Yeah.
Because like I also didn't want to make the dwarves last that long either. Like it's definitely going to be less than 300, but I'm just saying like.
Yeah. Like, I like the idea of them being long-lived, but also like
Tools.
not too long-lived.
Right. What do I think my tools? Might be inside.
Like
still.
that way, since the Rukhaven conquest, there's potentially at least one new generation of elves that has been born.
Right.
Broski, welcome in. But yeah, that was kind of where my brain's at.
Now I got you on the bandwagon for more elves now. So I do like the. I want to think of like whatever faction that we have. I guess like orcs and goblins, or just orcs in general, are kind of just. I wouldn't necessarily say a part of the wildscape, but like. I'm trying to think how to say this. I don't even know how to explain it. Ooh, in a second. I could actually use that. Brain, why you no work?
In my head, I was kind of picturing the wildscape being a massive area, like the majority of the world, everywhere that's not basically civilized.
Yeah.
Like where there's not a major civilization.
Oh, damn it. Guess we have to take a trip to the end. Yeah. No, I definitely think that makes sense, because like thinking of like the outstretched parts of the world, like where we even have like other, like basically wherever like current life is, like current civilizations are, like outside of their reach is the wildscape.
Yeah,
So, like,
I
if
would say even technically the snow area would be a part of the wildscape, even because it's adversely affected by the remnants of the Chaos War, hence being eternally winter.
Right. You know, that makes sense.
But like, yeah, I was kind of thinking of like, the wildscape essentially by a lot of civilizations kind of being viewed as like the common enemy. Not really an enemy though, like
it's just like a thing that is naturally being pushed back.
Yeah. So like,
I guess even to add on to that point, like how I mentioned the darker depths last time, that
yeah.
like that could even be a part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, because kind of I was like in Game of Thrones, like, oh, the big common kind of thing is there's the wall, right, up north and all that, and so for this it's kind of like, hey, there's the wildscape and there's like units of like soldiers and like some kind of magic users that are like using magic to like push back, purify, and kind of like retain the land, so to say.
You know, that makes sense.
And it's like mostly like, heck, that could even be like, that could be like a thing that's being run by the Rakavan Empire, and that could have been like one of their big things is like reclaiming the land and all that, and then they are just kind of like, hey, let's reclaim the land and purify everything. Oh, and also let's be racist and not and that includes like non-humans as well as being in need of removing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And so potentially like the Rakavan Empire has some kind of like draft or recruitment system that it takes from all of the kingdoms that they've declared themselves in charge of.
Yeah.
And so they like, yeah, there's some kind of like draft or recruitment system where they like take people and like assign them to doing that.
Right. And that also could tie into, I guess this is more so like my storytelling brain kicking in now, but like that would allow for a lot of different storylines to occur too.
Right.
Hell, you could probably even incorporate that into your D&D campaign.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You already
think
thought
it's
of
a
it.
wonderful. Yeah, I was kind of already cooking that one in my brain a little bit. But yeah, because I would be like, because you know, if people want to be humans and stuff, like I don't want to be, because like, you know, there's the Rakavan Empire and stuff, but like I want there to be cool character options for people to potentially incorporate their backstory into.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, it's some guy from some village out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, he's like some kind of soldier, like a mage warrior or something. I don't know if they wanted to like multi-class into a magic user and a whatever, a martial character, and just like some kind of the Wildscape Guard. I'd probably come up with a different name than that, but like, yeah, it's basically a special military.
The Wild Guard.
Special military / like scientific unit, almost in a way.
Yeah.
Because I very much enjoy the concept of like, yeah, there's magic, but it can also be like not necessarily explained entirely scientifically.
Right, there's just like some like magic
Like
that's
there's
just completely
a science
unknown.
to it. Yeah, and like some people are able to like use knowledge of the magic that is known to like come up with like new spells and stuff, essentially, and like
Right.
figure out how magic works and why things work the way they do or whatever. But like, yeah, probably not to the extent of just completely being able to explain away magic with science, but like, you know, there's kind of a curiosity and investigation to it and stuff that
Yeah.
there's certain people will explore and all that.
You know what we should be doing with this though?
What's that?
You know what we should be doing with this though?
Writing it down?
Because we can talk about it all we want, but then we're gonna forget about it. But I just love how that's like a mutual understanding now. Is that like we know we should be doing this, but we're not.
Yeah.
I guess while I'm just in the end preparing stuff, I can start trying to write this stuff down. My tools are a bit banged up. They need to be repaired.
Let me get my thing up as well to
Okay. So I wrote down things I could remember off the top of my head. So like, starting off with the whole race thing, each race could have its own like sub faction that ended up in the wildscape slash region of the world. The elves that didn't want to run and instead fight against Recombinant influence, but ended up in the wildscape anyways. And then the dwarves, like dwarven exploratory missions and parties were sent out. They got lost or trapped in areas and ended up learning how to survive in the wildscape or whatever area that they're in. And then the magic of the wildscape, there are parts of it that are scientifically discovered and concepts of magic, but there's also different kinds of magic that remain a mystery or that are so ancient that no current knowledge can discern what kind of magic it's based out of, I guess. Was there anything else that I missed? Because at some point I will end up putting this in the WorldAnvil.
I don't think so. I have written down the special military unit
Yes.
tasked with pushing back the wildscape, drafted / recruited by the Empire and reclaiming the wildscape, potentially a cause for the Recombinant Empire, for the Recombinant conquest. And then I have splinter faction of elves that are quotation marks heretics that left during the Recombinant conquest. Wanted to stay and fight and felt abandoned. You know, just basically a little bullet point to get the idea across.
Right. I think the military was the one thing that I kind of forgot about there, but because like I definitely want to use that, but at the same time I also have you know, the deep dark as like the way that the dwarf or the darkest depths, whatever I call them, the darkest deeps, I think is what I actually wanted to call them, is where like the dwarves use their prisoners or, you know, volunteers type thing.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that potentially could be like their own version of
the military thing.
Yeah. It's like they would not be in contact nor aligned with the Recombinants.
Right. It's just like its own entire thing. Okay.
But like if it's like under the mountain and stuff anyways, then like it's underground rather, and
yeah. Jeez, I'm already out of rockets. Doing too much flying. Should probably sleep. Oops, there we go. How's chat doing? You guys still hanging in there? Having a good time? Got some monsters we gotta eliminate. I feel like we could even take the whole wildscape concept for like the elves and whatnot, or even just all the races in general, is that like after being out in the wildscape for so long, like kind of like the magic of the wildscape eventually is kind of like trying to think
it
of
has less of an effect on them,
or even given the like respective races like a special magic to them even.
Yeah, I definitely think that there will be like some change for like remaining in the wildscape for an amount of time, and potentially like the non-human races, for some reason maybe the effects of the wildscape are a little less severe on them. Like maybe, I don't know. I would want to come up with like potentially a definitive, like, hey, explaining why that's the case or whatever.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But yeah, I like the kind of the idea of like maybe it causes some people to go a little crazy.
Maybe even a little mischievous.
Some might even say a little wild.
Yeah, because I think it would even be interesting to like incorporate, like, because whatever respective race has been out in the wildscape for so long that it kind of also like the effects aren't as elevated on them, but also like, you know, maybe not to like rip off of D&D or anything like, but like a elevated dark vision, or like a for dwarves, or you know, like higher strength or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe they're just a little bit wacky, a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like,
got a couple screws loose.
So I like the idea of, you know, there's a discernible difference between, you know, regular dwarves and wildscape dwarves.
Yeah.
And not just the fact that they're a little crazy or whatever.
Yeah. I do like the fact, though, it's just like, they're just definitely a bit more noticeable on the unhinged side, like...
Have you tried these mushrooms? These mushrooms are great!
Yeah, it's just like... Like, it definitely could have effects of, like... effects of, like, oh, it makes certain people, like, more violent and angry or whatever, but like some people, they're just like a little unhinged. Like they're just
silly guys.
Yeah, there's something about it just makes them silly guys. Like,
yeah. Guess I should probably gotta be this. Okay.
I even potentially maybe, I definitely like the idea of there have been certain spells or magical items or artifacts or equipment or whatever that have been created to help negate the effects of the wildscape. So like, hey, yeah, wear this charm around your neck and you go insane half as fast as you normally would or whatever, or
right,
stuff like that. I even maybe potentially, because the old magic is like connected with the Fae and stuff, potentially I kind of like the idea that like the Fae gave the elves out here like some kind of like protection or blessing, or I don't know what exactly, something like that.
Yeah.
Because they were buddies.
They're buddies. Christopher, how's it going? Can I play? Unfortunately, this is a private world between me and my buddy Roth here. Sorry. But you are free to hang out and chat with us and see what the Soulless World is all about. We were just talking about some of the different parts of our world and what effects they would have on various peoples and races. So far, I think we've come up with some pretty solid ideas. Well, how are you doing, Christopher? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Cool guy, what's going on? How you doing? Minecraft, yes, we're playing Minecraft. I've been on a hyperfixation with Minecraft as of lately. I know, it's kind of a problem. There's just so much that needs to get done around here. Just need to do it. Just do it. cool guy. It's been a while since I've seen you here in chat. Someone in this chat just turned a year older. Is it Cool Guy's birthday? Happy birthday, Cool Guy.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
It's like, wait a minute, what? Why is he counting? Isn't yours the...
Tomorrow.
Yes. Okay, I was about to say, it's either the 20th or the 23rd. It's one of those two. It's in the 20s. Roth's
Unlike me for much longer.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. Our 20s are in the sunset. Gonna be looking back on the glory days.
Alexa, play a tiny violin.
That's exactly how I feel. Well, happy birthday, Cool Guy. I hope you had a great birthday so far. I challenge you to Magic. Probably not tonight, but maybe sometime soon we can play. Don't mind me just covering that coal up. Roth, I doubt Roth would be down to do that tonight either, but I won't speak for him.
And it would be correct. I'm too old to stay up late on the weekdays, and honestly on the weekends.
Right. Like, after all the stuff I did on Saturday, being out in the woods, like, I got home at, like, maybe 7. And I was passed out by, like, 8. I was just dead.
Yeah, I'm glad I decided not to stream last night because I was pooped.
I mean, justifiably so. Yeah, I was thinking about potentially streaming something else, but I was like, I want to work on the Soulless World, and I want to talk more ideas with Roth about it. Nah, I won't stream tonight. But we made good progress on more lore. Kind of gives us more ideas and inspiration to work with. All right, this is already looking a lot better. I just have to... I could probably just basically build up a wall like, yeah, should be able to just build up a wall, or right up against this wall. I promise I'm not obsessed with walls. Ooh, that was a waste of rocket.
This is coming together nicely.
Your gatehouse?
Yeah. Super liking it now. Very nice.
I want to come see it. Holy crap, it's already 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. Like, it does not feel like it's 9 o'clock either. Like, for some reason to me, it feels like it's like 8.
Guess you gotta move to the central time zone.
Apparently.
This half, there isn't really much more done on. It's the other
Oh,
half.
it's okay. I see now. I was like,
well,
this doesn't look any different.
Yeah, this one, there's not a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
Much more different. I just kind of been building up that top floor there a little bit.
But even just having that in it looks very nice. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
And I wanted some asymmetry, so this gatehouse is going to be taller. Like if you'll notice, the roofs is different. It's gonna have another floor on top of it, just so it's
okay.
a little asymmetrical.
Kind of like that.
But yeah.
Yeah, now just having this in, it does look so much better. Oh, you even got the whole chains system too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I even added
to
like
detail.
counterweights and stuff.
Yeah. See, this is why Roth is a go-to builder.
I even like did some like it's okay, so this is raised up 3.5 blocks because it's on top of, or no, it's raised up 3 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would say the max height that this theoretically would go up would be like 4. It would be, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3. It probably could go up another 1 or 2 blocks, and so I like was like, okay, there's only a certain amount of chain that I made, so it like semi makes sense of like, hey, the chain can go this much before that it reaches the maximum that it can.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I did start to do a little bit of variation within the Eastern Road too, like around specifically like the mountain part, like once you get more towards like outside of the forest, where it's like I made the road a little more rocky looking. It's like there's like landslides can occur, or rock slides or whatever. So like I wanted to put in some like bigger rocks to like show that like that part of the trail or that part of the road is kind of dangerous.
Let's go here. Let's go check it out. let you go already.
I also do think I did a pretty solid job of blending the path too.
I'll come check it out.
Because, like, the way you really see it is, like, if you start from the Melithor Forest, like, down where I said that one dock would be, that dock area.
Yeah. I'm on my way.
He's on his way.
Now there's a rock there.
Yeah, watch out for that rock.
Walking through the jungle.
We got fun and games. Oh, you know what? I can even...
Someone's shooting at me.
Oh no, run away! On fire!
Dude, Soulspawn is so screwed. He doesn't have any brain cell right now.
I know, right? I don't even know how he's surviving in his... You know what's actually kind of funny now that I'm thinking about it? All three of us are streaming tonight, but we're playing different games. If only Soulspawn loved us enough to play Minecraft again.
I know.
Sleep! Let me up. Yeah, I started to work on, like, clearing out some of the areas underneath where the cliff is, so that I can properly build this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right where you're starting to kind of get into is like where the path turns into more like a rocky terrain. Included some of the tuff in the path as like a substitute block. More rocks too, with the buttons.
Yeah.
And then like around this area is like it starts to turn into like the normal road again. Like I said, I think I did a pretty solid job with the blending. It's not too harsh. It's not too sudden. It's just right.
My Voxies didn't save when I moved Minecraft launchers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I loaded stuff in. Like I moved over all the files and everything, but didn't.
For some reason, it just did not save Voxy.
Yeah. Saved my map exploration, which is good at least, but yes.
Yeah, at least that. Yeah, it saves something.
Adding back in some of these chunks that I have.
Yeah, I gotta work on cliff here. I think I might try to... I don't know if I want to try to include some like light gray concrete powder into this cliff or not. So I think I want to try and replicate what I did a little bit closer to the Melithor Forest, where it's deep slate at the bottom and it turns to stone, like that whole transition.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Drowned. What do you think you're doing? That honestly might be my course of action is just to do the same exact thing. Which means I should have deep slate somewhere, right? I'm gonna have to double check. But for now, I almost left my rockets behind. No, not that. Where the heck is my andesite? I'll just throw it in here for now. I probably moved it actually. Hold on. Aha. Did. Gas prices are ridiculous. I agree. They are quite high.
Because of everything is ridiculous.
That too. That is also very true. Alright, let's go see if I have any deep slate. I feel like I should, with how much digging I've done out of here. I should have a shulker for that too. That's all stone, but I'm gonna just use this shulker anyways. Let's see here.
Z-Man made a waterfall.
I did make a waterfall. It's not the greatest waterfall, but it's a waterfall. Because I've been meaning to do a waterfall in that area because of that hole that was there for the longest time. It just kind of made sense to... Oh, I found my andesite. Shulker. It's in my inventory. But yeah, like, I wanted to have a waterfall there. I was potentially thinking of doing some of like the build stone, like, you know, with the snow blocks behind the water to make it look like actual rippling water.
Oh, yeah.
But then my brain was also like, can I even try to pull that off? Like, can my brain even comprehend what goes into that? I feel like it would be a lot. Anyways. Do I seriously not have any deep slate mined? I feel like I should have some in the other storage room, right? How the heck do I have no regular deep slate anywhere?
Beats me.
Oh, wait. I found 4.
Let's go.
I swear
That should be enough, right?
No, wait. Hold, please. We're gonna take a cheat. Nope. I thought I could fly through. Maybe. Hold on. Through the beacon hole. I think I know where my shulker of deep slate is. Ouch. Aha. Aha. I found it. It was on the other side of my mountain.
Classic. Yeah, that's where I also keep mine.
You know, today's stream started with maybe these 5 shulkers here. And now I'm up to 6, 7, 10 shulkers and 3 double chests. Swear I don't have a problem. I think if we can at least... We may not have enough time to do this entire cliffside, but if I can at least do my best to replicate what I did over on by the Malthor Forest, then I should be able to just spend some time off camera building this part, because nobody wants to sit here and watch me build an entire cliff. Maybe I can even include a tree if we have that much time. So what I was also thinking of doing is like along, kind of like in between the rock slide areas, is to have like a couple of trees hanging off the side of the cliff. I think we'll do. I should probably grab some tough. Was it just so much? Probably a little bit of cobble. And maybe we'll get stone as we mine this out. Have you been able to come up with any new concepts or lore for your elves?
Not really. At least not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I mean, fair enough. Just kind of curious.
Yeah, I've been writing down stuff that I think of, but yeah, I haven't.
Right.
See, what's in my notepad? Yeah, I haven't really thought of too. Yeah, I don't think I've thought of anything new really. I have been coming up with names though.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
not
that's something.
specifically for anyone, but I've just kind of as I think of names, and I've been like looking at different languages and stuff.
Yeah.
To kind of draw inspiration, you know, maybe change a few letters around, or like make it what would it be? It phonetically sound the same but spell it slightly different or whatever, and
yeah,
doing that kind of stuff, and just kind of writing down like, hey, first names, like last names or surnames or whatever, and like, yeah, male,
Nice.
female, either, any, that type of stuff, kind of just categorizing. I don't have a whole lot, but like I mostly was thinking of Elven names, and I've looked at a lot of like Welsh and stuff, because I feel like those, some of those fit pretty well. So I have things like,
get it, Welsh, well,
the classic name Reese, Rhys, Reese.
Okay.
I think it's
how
it's spelled, and then like Wynne, Wynne, Alwena, Alwyn, Merwin.
I should probably start to.
And I have some that are just like kind of just regular names, like Andreas. It's just a name that I like. That, and then I have some, yeah.
Okay.
And then I have a full name that's not necessarily for an elf. It's probably most likely not for an elf, but it's, the first name is Haveus. It's spelled Javayus, because I was kind of like thinking of the name Javier, and so I kind of was like, oh, this one kind of has some like Spanish origins a little bit, or at least in my mind it did. So like we have the J making an H sound, and then the last name is Echrow, Echrow, so kind of like a combination of echo and crow combined, and I may have some stuff with that.
Okay.
Potentially. Potentially, I have some things figured out. I also have some. I only have 3 surnames, but like, yeah, I kind of was just like doing random names, and then it's like, hey, and you know, I can pick a surname and a first name and put them together and whatever.
Right.
But the 3 surnames I have are Glace, Yarwood, and Nest.
Okay. We're definitely kind of unique.
Yeah.
I feel like it could work.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find a character good with those names, but you know.
Yeah. Alright, I think this area here will be our cutoff. Alright, let's see how that looks. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I guess I can say this on stream. It's in the Soulless World Discord. But I had,
which, by the way, if you're not a part of it, you should totally join.
Yes. I had the idea of if we end up implementing like some kind of like beast folk, making them like, hey, they were wild shaped druids.
Right.
Which I don't know if wild shape is a trademarked term by D&D. Might have to come up with something different.
Please, Hasbro, don't sue us.
Whatever. But like, yeah, the idea is like there are some stuff that falls under like fair use commons.
Right.
Which is like why people are allowed to like make content on D&D. Though that was like a whole big thing a while, like several years ago.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Like there was, like the way things were worded, people weren't sure if they would be able to make content on D&D. Basically, like it was so bad. Like it was this huge thing with Hasbro, and yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I could totally imagine, because you know Hasbro is definitely a reasonable company.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, basically it'd be like the wild-shaped druids got hit by some kind of transformation chaos magic and became beast folk versions of whatever their wild shape was. Like if they're wild shaped as a bear, they became a bear folk.
I like it.
Like that. And I also learned, because I was running some ideas by someone who is way more knowledgeable about D&D than I. But there is a... So, Wizards of the Coast didn't always own D&D. There was another company, I forget what it's called, but the abbreviations are TSR. I do remember that much. And basically, like, there are very much some things that are like, yep, that is a term that is made and created by Dungeons and Dragons, and like very much a trademark term. Like there's definitely like tiefling is very much, yeah. But there's also some things that are not. Like there are some things where they just took from like real world like mythology or like folklore and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like that stuff is like very much
fair use.
We're allowed to use that. Because that's like they don't own the concept to that thing or whatever. I'm kind of blanking on any examples right now, but yeah. But I know the guy I was talking to, he has a book that's like based off of a campaign that he did, I think. And like they had to change some stuff because like there's some stuff they couldn't include.
Yeah.
But like he discovered like gnolls, GNOLL. Can't use that. But the original spelling for gnolls, GNOLLES, that's like the original spelling. So like D&D like made a different spelling for it, and so like that is a trademark term, but the original spelling is not. Just like, so there's like some loopholes and stuff, but yeah.
Right. And that makes sense.
But I have quite liked the added complication of making a world with the intended or making a world that can be used in a game, like use a game system that exists. And like the kind of the added complication of like, hey, there's certain things that like we're gonna have to rename and like figure out slightly different stuff for, because whatever, you have the intention of writing books and whatnot, and who knows where else this may lead in the future. But yeah, it was just like, so there's like kind of these things that have some restrictions, but like it's also because of that we've come up with some pretty cool ideas, I do think.
Oh yeah.
Also, hello,
For
cool
sure.
guy, happy birthday.
You know, I definitely think we've been able to come up with some unique ways of working around the whole, oh, we can't use that because D&D. Oh, maybe this was used in another universe or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the very strange and bizarre complication of like, hey, I want to make this so we can play D&D in it, in this like this universe that we're creating, but also we have to make it so like you can write books.
Yeah.
And like there might be some stuff where it's just like, hey, we just don't use that in the books. Like it might get to like something like that, but like yeah,
I'm sure there's certain things that will be excluded,
because I know some of the Critical Role, the first Critical Role campaign, The Legends of Vox Machina, it has not Netflix, Amazon Prime show that it's based on. The Prime show is based on the D&D campaign. So there's like some stuff that they excluded and whatnot, but yeah, like I think at some point in the campaign, like Vecna is a D&D villain, and that was a villain that they used, but like in the show, 100% is going to be called something else because they can't use that. But yeah,
legally we can't use this.
It's very cool. I think I'm gonna have a short stream because I feel like I'm kind of crashing and burning. I'm still quite tired from yesterday and doing yard work over the weekend and stuff.
Roth's a tired boy. Yeah, I probably won't be going for too much longer.
2 hours on and off today trying to figure out medical insurance stuff.
Oh gosh. Still trying to fight that whole debacle.
Yeah. Like, cause I started a new medicine. I was on the medicine, not had any bad reactions to it yet. Again, thankfully. Had to switch insurances because my wife, in quotations, makes too much money. But also, guess what? We don't make enough money to pay for the insurance that I now have to have.
Right. Makes absolutely zero sense.
Plus the insurance is like, oh, by the way, we're gonna deny the medicine. Oh, great, thanks. My doctor resubmits the prescription with more information and whatever, because they're like, oh, we don't see enough information here to see that you need this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, great. They resubmit stuff. Then I get another rejected like another denial from them, and it's like, oh yeah, well, see, we want you to try this other medication version. It's like, okay, cool, you are a bunch of fools who sit in an office and run a predatory and very unnecessary business.
Right.
So glad you're making my medical decisions and not my doctor.
Go frick yourself.
So, yeah. So then my doctor puts in a request for the medication that my insurance wants me to have instead of the other one. And they're like, chemically or whatever, they're like pretty similar. So like it's, yeah, it probably will have like a similar effect, hopefully. We shall see if it comes to that. But then submitted with the medication that my insurance wanted. Then they also resubmitted the one that that my doctor wants to give me. Lo and behold, both were like approved. But now I was calling today because it's like, hey, my doctor was like, yeah, the specialty pharmacy, because I have to use a specialty pharmacy because it has to be mailed to me because it needs refrigerated. So it's like, yeah, they should be reaching out to schedule delivery. I was like, okay, great. And then it's like, okay, sick. It's been like a week and I've not heard. So I'm going to call the pharmacy and see what's up. And then it's just like, hey, it's on review with our pharmacy. I'm like, okay.
How long is it going to be?
And, oh, it won't take that long. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like, I think I was, because they had like an automated text-based thing, so I think I was either talking to AI or like some kind of, I don't know what.
More than
like
likely AI. Let's be
chatting
real.
with the real thing, because then it's like, okay, also I had applied for a copay card to help reduce the cost of it, because it was going to be $1,000 a dose. And that's with my insurance covering it. But the copay card, which is like the manufacturer copay card, so like I guess out of the goodness of their heart, or they probably get like,
they get kickbacks,
tax
let's be
write-offs,
real.
government tax write-offs or something, I don't know, probably. But it was going to be like, hey, with this copay card it's going to be $5, and they're basically selling it to me at cost or whatever. Like, oh, sick. So you're telling me that my medicine's being marked up $995?
Yeah.
Or more than that, because that's how much it costs with my insurance covering it. And so then it's like, I was like, hey, is this copay card actually applied to my claim for this medicine? And then like the AI chatbot or whatever was like, this has nothing to do with the copay card. And I'm like, what? That's what I was asking. So I was like, I don't think this is a real person.
No.
So then I called. I called, and there's like a million phone options, and I was like, well, financial help department seems like the best of those options. Wasn't the right department, but the guy, super nice, also saw that it was my birthday tomorrow, and he's like, oh, happy birthday, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Thanks. I just want to be able to live.
But he was like, yeah, it looks like your copay card is applied to it, and you'll only be paying $5 for this medicine, it looks like. And I'm like, all right, sick. And he's like, but yeah, I'm seeing it's not being delivered, so I'm going to transfer you to someone else who can help with that. Talk to them, and they're like, yeah, it's being held on review. But they actually gave me a real answer and said it's being held on review because
of an actual reason.
My doctor, it's being held for review because my doctor sent a prescription in for 2 different medicines, and so they need confirmation from my doctor on which one they're supposed to send to me.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so that's being held up because my insurance denied it twice, and so my doctor finally was like, okay, whatever, we'll just put him on this other medicine, I guess, but we'll also resubmit the other one just in case both get approved. And then just like, it's It's been a freaking night, dude. I didn't even get a delivery last month for my medicine. I had to get a like a test sample from my doctor's office to take.
That's wild.
So I've been like, it's been like 2 months trying to get this sorted out, all because I changed my insurance. Because I also had to change specialty pharmacies because my insurance didn't like the specialty pharmacy that I was using.
God.
Dude, it's been... I'm just like, I want to jump off a cliff. Like, and that's all I say on that on camera.
That's absolutely wild.
But yeah, it's been a time.
Like, as someone who has worked in the pharmaceutical world, I've seen like what it actually costs a pharmacy to get a certain certain medications. Now, granted, like like, I'm not trying to defend pharmacies or anything like that, or insurance or anything like that, but like, it's absolutely crazy like what insurances will actually do to those medications. Because like, I've seen like, you know, maybe some more common medications are like $2 to order, but then co-pays are like $20. I'm just like,
yeah,
this is a load of barnacles.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, these people just want to live. And yet you're marking up.
Don't worry, chat. I'm not gonna actually jump off a cliff in Minecraft. But, you know.
I'm going to jump off a cliff in Minecraft. That's what this whole situation makes me want to do.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm probably...
That's my story on why I'm tired and...
exhausted.
They're just like, even if I'm not actively trying to fix this, because another reason, why am I the one that has to fix this? Like,
right?
Why do I feel like I'm calling trying to make sure everyone's on the same page? Like, why is that my job? Like, I don't get paid to do this. I thought that's what I paid you guys to do.
Where's my paycheck?
Yeah, it's like, even if I'm not actively, like, it's just lingering in my mind and just like mental strain or whatever. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just rambling. I think I'm just gonna end stream now and call it a day.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to being done here too for the night. Not too much more I can really do in my time frame. Managed to get the start of the cliff design.
Voice chat.
I'm happy with that. You forgot.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just close out of Minecraft, and then I forgot that. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're not in Discord. You know, I honestly I like this. It's very basic. I decided to add in a little bit of gravel this time, which I mean it's missing in certain spots or whatever, but it's something we can always touch up on. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Yeah. So now we're gonna take this entire thing, copy it along the ridge line here, cliffside. Probably like around here. I might make the land stretch out a little bit further. Include some rocks. And eventually I'll
mean, guess what?
What?
I broke 150 subs. Woohoo! Apparently I gained 5 during the stream.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Hey, we don't question it. We just accept it.
Yeah. Definitely, they are real people for sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave this off. I'm quite happy with what I've been able to accomplish today. More path, terraforming, cliff building, chest monster. Oh man. Yeah, I'll try to work on this a little bit more off camera a little bit. See, maybe we can like finish up this in like the beginning of a stream next time, or in a couple episodes. We'll see how long it takes me to actually do a majority of it. I have some commercial district stuff for Dustcarth I gotta do. That will probably take priority while I fill this in. Yeah. Quite nice. Now, did I include Andesite over here? No, I did not. It's just... Actually, it's a mix of regular deep slate and cobble deep slate, but we're not going to get into the details of that. It's good enough. Next time, I'll probably include a tree. Or a tree or two. But yeah. That's where I'm going to head. Say goodbye. Did you already end? Okay. Well, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out, chatting with me. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure to hit that like button on your way out. Check all the links below for all my social medias. Consider joining the community Discord. And if you want to see more Soulless World content, consider hitting that subscribe button. With that being said, I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.